Hello everyone, and welcome to Dr. Carminati's channel. I'm delighted to welcome you as we explore the topic of enhancing cybersecurity compliance processes. Today, we're tackling a subject that's critical for anyone working with federal information systems, accelerating the NIST authorization to operate, or ATO, process using the Kanban methodology. If you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to join our growing community. Please share your thoughts in the comments, suggest topics for future videos, hit that like button, and subscribe to stay updated on all things cybersecurity. Your engagement helps me create content that matters to you. So let's get started. Introduction to the NIST ATO Challenge. The NIST ATO process ensures federal systems meet stringent security and compliance standards. But let's be honest, it can feel like navigating a maze. For those of you working as ISOs, system owners, or cybersecurity professionals, you are familiar with the frustration of delays, rework, and endless documentation. Too often, teams approach ATO with a narrow mindset, focusing only on checking compliance boxes or following rigid, linear steps. This tunnel vision slows progress, inflates costs, and leaves everyone exhausted. But what if I told you there's a better way? By applying the Kanban methodology, a visual, flexible, and flow-focused framework, we can streamline the ATO process, eliminate bottlenecks, and achieve faster and more reliable outcomes. In this video, I'll break down how Kanban transforms the ATO journey, making it more efficient and collaborative. Stick with me, and I'll show you actionable strategies to make this process smoother, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting. Why the ATO process needs a shake-up. First, let's discuss why the ATO process often takes longer than expected. The NIST Risk Management Framework, RMF, outlines 7 steps: prepare, categorize, select, implement, assess, authorize, and monitor. Sounds straightforward, right? However, in practice, these steps involve complex tasks, such as implementing control measures, conducting risk assessments, and collecting evidence. Teams frequently get stuck in silos, with ISOs, developers, and assessors working in isolation. Miscommunication leads to rework, unclear priorities cause delays, and manual processes eat up time. I've seen organizations take months, even years, to secure an ATO, only to face issues during renewals. The problem isn't the RMF itself, it's how teams execute it. A rigid, checklist-driven approach creates bottlenecks, but Kanban offers a dynamic solution. Let's explore how this methodology revolutionizes the process. What is Kanban, and why does it fit ATO? Kanban, initially developed in manufacturing and popularized in software development, is all about visualizing work, limiting work in progress, and optimizing workflow. Picture a board with columns like To Do, In Progress, Review, and Done. Each task or card moves through these columns as it progresses, giving teams a clear view of what's happening at any moment. Unlike traditional project management, Kanban doesn't force you into fixed timelines or rigid phases. Instead, it emphasizes continuous delivery and adaptability, perfect for the iterative nature of the ATO process. By visualizing tasks, prioritizing effectively, and focusing on flow, Kanban helps teams tackle the RMF's complexity without getting overwhelmed. Let's dive into specific strategies to apply Kanban to the ATO process, building on proven techniques to accelerate your journey to authorization. Strategy 1. Build a knowledgeable and flexible team. Success starts with the right people. Hire team members who either know the NIST RMF or show eagerness to master it. Avoid those who assume they already know everything. Overconfidence leads to skipped steps and errors. With Kanban, create a team training column on your board to track onboarding and skill-building tasks. For example, add cards for completing NIST RMF training or shadowing experienced SSOs. By visualizing training progress, you ensure everyone stays aligned and ready to contribute. Encourage a culture of continuous learning, where team members regularly update their knowledge of NIST guidelines and best practices. This approach keeps your team agile and prepared to handle evolving requirements, setting a strong foundation for the ATO process. Strategy 2. Create clear, visual documentation with Kanban. Documentation is the backbone of ATO, but poorly organized or outdated documents slow things down. Kanban helps by making documentation a visible, manageable process. Set up a Kanban board with columns like Draft, Review, Finalize, and Approved for documents like system security plans or risk assessments. Each document becomes a card, moving through the board as team members complete tasks. For instance, a card for Update NIST 853 Control List might start in Draft, move to Review for ISO feedback, and be finalized in Approved. This visual approach ensures no document gets lost in the shuffle. Regularly update templates and store them in a centralized repository so everyone accesses the latest versions. By streamlining documentation with Kanban, you reduce errors and keep the process moving. Strategy 3. Optimize ticketing with Kanban flow. ATO involves tracking numerous issues, vulnerabilities, control gaps, and other relevant factors. A ticketing system is essential, but without structure, it can become chaotic. Kanban brings order by visualizing ticket workflows. Create a board with columns like New Issues, Analysis, Remediation, and Closed. Each ticket becomes a card, and team members move cards as they resolve issues. To avoid false positives, add a validation column where automated scans confirm fixes before closure. Limit work in progress by setting a cap on cards per column, such as 5 in remediation, to prevent teams from juggling too many tasks. Kanban's visual flow highlights bottlenecks, such as tickets stuck in analysis, so you can adjust priorities or allocate resources. This helps issues move toward resolution, thereby speeding up the ATO timeline. Strategy 4. Implement controls using NIST 800 and Kanban. Implementing security controls is a core step in the RMF, and NIST SP 853A serves as your guide. Kanban makes this manageable by breaking control implementation into trackable tasks. Create a board with columns like Plan, Implement, Test, and Document. For each control, add a card like Configure Multi-Factor Authentication for Control IA2. Assign cards to team members, set due dates, and track progress. Kanban's transparency ensures ISSOs align implementations with 853A requirements, avoiding rework. For example, if a control fails testing, move its card back to Implement with notes on needed fixes. This iterative process catches issues early, ensuring controls meet standards before assessments. Strategy 5. Streamline self-assessments with Kanban. Self-assessments are critical for identifying gaps before formal audits. Using NIST SP 853A, SSOs evaluate control effectiveness, a process that can be time-consuming. Kanban simplifies it by organizing assessments into clear steps. Set up a board with columns like prepare, assess, remediate, and validate. Create cards for each control assessment, such as evaluate AC2 account management. As ISOs complete assessments, cards move forward with remediation tasks assigned as needed. Kanban's visual feedback helps prioritize high-risk gaps and ensures timely fixes. By integrating self-assessments into the Kanban flow, you reduce surprises during external audits, keeping the ATO process on track. Strategy 6. Automate repetitive tasks. Automation is a game-changer for ATO acceleration. Utilize tools to automate repetitive tasks, such as vulnerability scanning or evidence collection. With Kanban, create an automation column to track integration of tools like Nessus for scans or Splunk for logs. For example, a card for Automate POANM reporting ensures that reports are generated consistently, freeing up time for analysis. Automation reduces manual effort, and Kanban ensures these tools integrate smoothly into the workflow. This combination keeps your team focused on high-value tasks, such as risk mitigation, thereby speeding up the overall process. Strategy 7. Embrace continuous monitoring. Kanban aligns perfectly with NIST's continuous monitoring approach. Instead of treating ATO as a one-time event, use a Kanban board to manage ongoing monitoring tasks. Columns like monitor, analyze, report, and mitigate track activities such as log reviews and patch updates. For instance, a card for review monthly vulnerability scans ensures regular checks without overwhelming the team. By limiting work in progress, Kanban prevents burnout and keeps systems in a state of near-constant compliance. This reduces the effort needed for ATO renewals, making the process faster and more sustainable. Strategy 8. Foster collaboration with Kanban silos. Kill ATO efficiency. Kanban promotes collaboration by making work visible to all stakeholders, including ISOs, developers, system owners, and assessors. Hold daily stand-ups to review the Kanban board, discussing cards stuck in review or remediation. Create a collaboration column for tasks requiring cross-team input, like align on risk acceptance criteria. Kanban's transparency ensures everyone knows their role and priorities, reducing miscommunication. This collaborative approach, rooted in Kanban's flow principles, keeps the ATO process moving smoothly. Strategy 9. Simplify risk assessments. Risk assessments often bog down ATOs. Kanban streamlines this process by breaking assessments into clear, distinct steps. Use a board with columns like identify risks, score risks, mitigate, and accept. Each risk becomes a card, moving through the process as teams analyze and address it. Standardize scoring with NIST SP 800-30 guidelines to focus on high-impact risks. Kanban's visual flow helps authorizing officials make faster decisions, cutting delays and keeping the ATO on schedule. Strategy 10. Conduct pre-ATO readiness reviews. Before formal assessments, run pre-ATO readiness reviews to catch issues early. Use a Kanban board with columns like prepare review, conduct review, address findings, and ready. Cards track tasks like validate control evidence or test incident response plan. This proactive approach, visualized through Kanban, ensures systems are audit-ready, minimizing rework and accelerating authorization. Why Kanban matters for ATO. Kanban's strength lies in its simplicity and adaptability. By visualizing work, limiting multitasking, and optimizing flow, it transforms the ATO process from a bureaucratic slog into a dynamic, collaborative effort. It breaks down silos, prioritizes tasks, and seamlessly integrates automation and continuous monitoring. Whether you're an ISO, a system owner, or a cybersecurity enthusiast, Kanban empowers you to tackle the RMF with confidence and speed. I hope this in-depth look at accelerating the NIST ATO process with Kanban has sparked some ideas for your work. What challenges have you faced in the ATO process? Do you have tips or questions about using Kanban? Drop them in the comments. I love hearing from you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to my channel for more cybersecurity insights. Suggest topics for future videos, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.